All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're stepping into the ring to really break down the most definitive moment in all of sports, the knockout. And we're not just talking about the highlight reels here. We're gonna go deeper into the neurology, the psychology, and the raw human drama that makes it so completely captivating.
To kick things off, just listen to this quote from author and commentator Andy Clarke. He calls the knockout a public sporting execution. I mean, wow, that phrase just cuts right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the brutal finality we're about to explore.
Because, you see, a knockout isn't just a powerful punch. Clarke describes it as the ultimate sporting cataclysm. It's a moment so absolute it makes everything else totally irrelevant. The round doesn't matter. The scorecards, useless. The time on the clock, forget about it. The fight is simply over.
So how does this happen? Well, Clarke actually breaks it down into two very different types. First, you have type 1. That's the lightning bolt, the one-punch, lights-out moment that's sudden, shocking, and comes out of nowhere. But then there's type 2, which is almost more brutal. It's a slow, agonizing process, a beatdown where you literally watch a fighter's will get broken down piece by piece over time.
Think about any other sport. A last-second goal, a buzzer beater. For those to matter, you have to be in the game. You have to be close. But a knockout? Man, that's a whole different animal. A fighter can be losing every single round, getting completely dominated, and then, bam, one punch can change everything. There is no comeback from that. There's just no response.
So what's the human price of that kind of finality? For the person throwing the punch and the one taking it, that one single moment creates two completely different worlds. For every second of absolute victory, there's an equal and opposite moment of pure devastation.
Now, you might think the winner would just be feeling pure joy, right? But what's so fascinating is that many fighters say the first thing they feel is something way more primal, just relief. This overwhelming wave of relief that they're the ones still standing. The joy comes later. The first thought is simply, it wasn't me.
And for the loser, the pain is so much more than physical. You hear fighters like Ricky Hatton talk about it, and the thing that lasts, the real wound, is psychological. It's not just that you lost, it's the public humiliation, the ego death of being completely dominated in front of millions of people.
So this begs the question, right? How does a person walk into that ring willingly, knowing that this level of trauma and humiliation is a very real possibility? Well, the answer isn't just bravery. It's actually a fascinating and complex mind game they have to play with themselves.
There's a term for it in psychology, compartmentalization, and it's an incredible mental tightrope walk. First, the fighter has to accept the reality. Yes, a knockout could happen. Second, they have to take the fear of that happening and use it as fuel for their entire grueling training camp. But then, and this is the craziest part, right before the bell rings, they have to flick a switch and convince themselves that this thing they know is possible is actually, for them, on this night, completely impossible.
And this isn't a weakness, it's a necessity. As heavyweight prospect Moses Yatoma puts it, to be a fighter, you need to be delusional at times. That managed delusion, that ability to walk the line between harsh reality and absolute self-belief, is a crucial tool for survival and for victory.
Now, the impact of a knockout isn't just contained in that 20-foot square ring, no way. It sends shockwaves out to everyone watching, the officials, the people in the corner, and yeah, all of us watching at home.
Let's look at this whole ringside ecosystem. You've got the referee, the one person standing between a fighter and disaster. You've got the trainer, who carries this enormous duty of care. And then there's us, the fans. And our role in this whole drama is maybe the most complicated of all.
This quote from the famous trainer Joe Gallagher just sums up the trainer's dilemma perfectly. You want your fighter to win. Of course you do. But if he's taking a terrible beating and you know he needs a miracle he's never pulled off before, why do you keep him in there? It is a brutal, split-second decision with potentially lifelong consequences. And this really forces us to look at our own role here. We cheer for the knockout. We pay to see it. There's this undeniable, primal roar when it happens. But it's almost always followed by this sudden, weird hush, this collective concern for the fighter on the canvas. It's a strange moment. Kind of feels like something out of a gladiator arena, and it makes you ask yourself, what did I really come here to see?
So what happens after the count of 10? The lights go down, the crowd goes home, but for the fighter, the journey is really just beginning. A knockout can define your career, it can shatter your psyche, or sometimes it can actually be the start of an amazing comeback story.
And that road to recovery is different for everybody. For a seasoned pro, the attitude might be, hey, this is boxing, it is what it is. But for a fighter who truly believed they were invincible, to be broken like that so completely can leave a psychological wound that honestly might never heal.
And that's the real fight, isn't it? It's not just about winning belts or making money. The true challenge, as Clarke says so perfectly, is to walk away from this incredibly brutal sport having taken more from it than it's taken from you. It's a simple ambition, but one that tragically very few fighters ever manage to achieve.
Which brings us right back to the beginning, this moment of pure, raw finality, this ultimate display of victory and defeat. We are drawn to it. We can't look away. And so we have to ask ourselves, why? Why are we so fascinated by this spectacle of human triumph and trauma? And what does that fascination really say about us?